Hero, the blind chestnut horse, had been the pride of the Martinez family for a decade. Once a spirited and lively horse known for pulling carts and playing with the village children, Hero's coat had started to fade, and his once sturdy steps had turned hesitant. Hero had been a symbol of strength and endurance, an essential member of the family's outings. Every summer he was harnessed to a small cart to carry children down shaded village paths. The children's laughter, mingling with the sound of Hero's hooves, had become an unforgettable part of the village's collective memory. But time spares no one. Last spring, Susan Martinez, Hero's owner, noticed him bumping into the familiar walls of the barn and the fences he had once navigated with ease. "Something's wrong with Hero," Susan confided to her husband Paul one evening as they watched their beloved horse move cautiously, his nose lowered to the ground as if feeling his way. Hero was no longer the confident horse he once was. His steps had grown tentative, as though each one was a struggle. The veterinarian's diagnosis confirmed their worst fears. Hero was blind, suffering from cataracts in both eyes. His world grew darker with each passing day. From a joyful and energetic horse, Hero became subdued, spending most of his time curled up in the barn. In those first days after losing his sight, he hardly ate, rejecting the fresh hay and clean water Susan lovingly placed in front of him. Even Paul, a man who rarely showed his emotions, couldn't hide his heartbreak as he watched Hero grow despondent. Susan tried everything to help Hero, placing extra hay in the corners of the barn to help him orient himself, and even hiring a trainer specialized in working with blind animals. They hung small bells in strategic places so Hero could use the sound to navigate. But none of these efforts seemed to lift the loneliness from Hero's eyes. He refused to leave the barn, even when the weather was warm and lush green pastures awaited him outside. One day, their granddaughter Karen sent them a video of a young horse at a rescue farm guiding a blind horse around. "Maybe Hero needs a friend like that," Susan suggested, her eyes lighting up with hope. The idea made Paul pause. He wasn't sure if Hero could adjust to another horse in his current state. But Susan, with her characteristic determination, persuaded him that this might be Hero's last chance to rediscover joy. They drove to the local rescue farm, where Sarah, the manager, introduced them to a young horse named Patrick. Patrick, only 2 years old, was small but remarkably lively. "Patrick is a very special horse," Sarah explained. "He has a knack for understanding animals in need. He once guided an old goat with a limp to a patch of fresh grass and often stays close to weaker animals." When Patrick was brought to meet Hero, everyone held their breath. The young horse cautiously approached Hero, gently touching his nose with his own. Hero stood still, as if trying to understand this new presence. After a few moments, Patrick stepped back slightly, took a step forward, and then turned his head as if inviting Hero to follow. Hero hesitated but eventually took a tentative step forward. The sight brought tears to Susan and Paul's eyes. Patrick not only became Hero's companion but also helped him find joy in life again. Each morning Patrick would nuzzle Hero gently as if saying good morning, and Hero, sensing the warmth of his new friend, would respond with a soft snort. Susan noticed Hero eating more and seeming livelier with Patrick by his side. The pair soon became inseparable, walking through the village together and earning the admiration and affection of everyone who saw them. Patrick always walked ahead, making gentle sounds to guide Hero safely. The village children who had once adored Hero quickly warmed to Patrick as well. They often brought carrots and apples as treats for both horses. Patrick didn't just guide Hero, he helped him face his fears. One rainy afternoon, a loud clap of thunder startled Hero, causing him to tremble in his stall. Patrick approached calmly, standing close to Hero and emitting soothing sounds. Gradually, Hero calmed down, and the two stood side by side, quietly listening to the rain, as if understanding that as long as they had each other, they could face anything. This extraordinary friendship not only transformed Hero, but also matured Patrick. The once playful young horse grew more patient and displayed an incredible level of empathy toward Hero. Whenever Hero hesitated to take a step, Patrick would gently turn back, nudge him, and encourage him to keep going. When Patrick first arrived, the Martinez family had everything prepared for him, from a cozy little stable to a clean feeding area. But Patrick seemed more interested in helping Hero than in enjoying these comforts. From the very first night, Patrick chose to sleep close to Hero instead of in his new stable. If Hero stirred uneasily in his sleep, Patrick would softly whinny as if to say, "You're not alone." During those first nights, an incredible bond began to form between the two. Patrick would lie close to Hero, his gentle breaths offering a sense of calm and reassurance. Occasionally, Patrick would nudge Hero with his muzzle, a soft reminder that everything was okay. Susan, watching through the window, often smiled, sensing something extraordinary growing between the two animals. The breakthrough came on the third morning. Hero, who had hesitated to approach the feeding trough on his own, suddenly changed his behavior. Patrick cleverly tapped the trough with his hoof, creating a clear sound, and then nudged Hero. Repeating this action a few times, Patrick patiently guided Hero to breakfast, as if they were performing a delicate dance. Whispering to Paul, Susan said, "I think Patrick is smarter than anyone we've ever met." From that day forward, Hero began to rely on Patrick's signals to complete basic tasks. A soft whinny meant, "Follow me, it's safe." A tap of the hoof on the ground signaled, "Watch out, there's an obstacle." Patrick even devised a way to create gentle sounds by shaking his head, causing the small bell on his collar to ring. Another cue Hero quickly learned to follow. With each passing day, Hero's confidence grew. He began to explore the backyard, following the paths Patrick led him on, sniffing at the footprints Patrick left on the grass. Patrick even invented small games to encourage Hero to use his other senses to locate objects or navigate new areas. When winter arrived and snow blanketed the backyard, Hero became more anxious. Standing at the stable door, he hesitated to step into the unfamiliar white expanse, but Patrick acted quickly. She stepped into the snow, creating a narrow path with her small hooves. After every few steps, Patrick would return to gently nudge Hero's leg, encouraging him to follow. Susan and Paul stood speechless, witnessing Patrick's intelligence and dedication. In the dark of winter, Patrick devised another clever way to assist Hero within the stable. She pushed small pieces of matting into specific positions, creating textured paths that gave Hero a sense of security. On cold mornings, when Hero's arthritis made it hard for him to stand, Patrick would gently nuzzle his legs, helping him relax before attempting to move. Dr. Davis, the local veterinarian, was amazed by the unique partnership. During one of Hero's checkups, she told Susan, "This isn't just friendship. Patrick is truly using her intelligence and sensitivity to improve Hero's quality of life." During the holiday season, the Martinez family decorated their backyard with twinkling lights and colorful wreaths. Patrick seemed to sense the festive atmosphere and embrace the added vibrancy. She carefully guided Hero along illuminated pathways, helping him feel safe amidst the new surroundings. One evening, as the family gathered around an outdoor fire, Patrick nudged Hero closer, ensuring he could feel the warmth and companionship. Susan remarked emotionally, "If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe animals could understand and care for each other to this extent." The Martinez family felt both excited and cautious as they decided to set up their first Christmas tree since Patrick joined the family. Hero, the old horse with his uneven gait, had grown accustomed to the familiar open space of the backyard. The addition of a Christmas tree, with its twinkling lights and distinct scent, could unsettle him. Patrick, the quick and intuitive young horse, noticed the change and seemed to understand Hero's unease. On a sunny afternoon, Patrick patiently led Hero around the tree, step by step. With gentle nudges from her nose, Patrick reassured Hero that the tree was nothing to fear, just a part of the season's joy. Watching from a distance, Susan felt a deep sense of awe at how Patrick cared for Hero, For the first time, she realized their bond wasn't just companionship. It was a profound friendship that transcended all barriers. That evening, as the Martinez family gathered, the twinkling lights of the Christmas tree cast a warm glow, reflecting in Hero's kind eyes. Patrick stood close to Hero, as if guarding him from anything unfamiliar. Hero lay under the tree, resting his head against Patrick's leg. The image moved the Martinez family to tears and became a source of inspiration for a story that would reach far beyond the walls of their home. The Martinez family's Christmas card that year featured a photo of Patrick and Hero standing beside a beautifully decorated Christmas tree. When Susan sent the card to friends and relatives, a wave of emotion spread throughout the community. Many people felt the warmth, hope, and genuine love radiating from Hero and Patrick's story. Inspired by the card, the local animal shelter decided to launch an innovative program, pairing elderly animals with younger, healthier ones so they could support each other. The program quickly achieved remarkable success. One sunny morning, Sarah, an enthusiastic shelter employee, excitedly announced that they had successfully paired 3 elderly horses with young, vibrant ones. Even more heartwarming, a deaf Great Dane was paired with a small pony that became its ears. These pairs soon became living proof of the significance of mutual support and interspecies friendship. However, the most profound impact came when the local elementary school invited Hero and Patrick to visit and inspire the students. Susan was initially worried that Hero might struggle in a noisy, crowded environment. But Patrick, with his intuitive nature, seemed to understand the importance of the mission. That morning, Patrick confidently guided Hero through the school hallways, their steps precise and synchronized. Under Patrick's gentle guidance, Hero walked into the classroom with surprising confidence, unfazed by the curious eyes of the children. The children sat in a circle watching in awe as Patrick used subtle nose signals to lead Hero. A teacher explained that true friendship isn't about appearances or abilities, but about the willingness to help one another. A young girl in a wheelchair shared, "It's like how my best friend helps me get my books." From then on, the school turned these visits into monthly events, teaching the students valuable lessons about kindness and empathy. The bond between Hero and Patrick grew stronger each day. Patrick seemed to develop a sixth sense for Hero's needs. As Hero's joints became stiffer, Patrick stood close, offering balance and support. During stormy days, when Hero felt anxious, Patrick would press his body against Hero's, offering comfort. Susan and the Martinez family marveled at the extraordinary connection between the two. One spring afternoon, as Hero and Patrick relaxed in the backyard, Susan overheard 2 neighbors talking near the fence. "I used to think an old horse and a foal couldn't be friends," one said. "Now I wonder how many other things we've been wrong about, like who can help whom." Susan smiled, her heart swelling with pride as she watched Patrick gently guide Hero up the porch steps. Patrick's steady, deliberate steps seemed to echo the calm strength of Hero, creating a quiet yet profound rhythm of unity. Hero, now 15 years old, no longer had the agility of his younger days. His muzzle had turned white, and his movements had grown slower. Time had left its mark on Hero's body, but in Patrick's eyes, it didn't diminish his friend's worth. Patrick, an intelligent and compassionate young horse, had become Hero's emotional anchor, their relationship transcending conventional norms of animal behavior. One day, as sunlight filtered through the trees, illuminating the barn where Hero rested, the Martinez family witnessed a small miracle. Hero struggled to rise from the soft grass, his stiff joints making every movement difficult. Patrick, as always, stood nearby, attentively watching his friend. Sensing Hero's struggle, Patrick let out a series of urgent whinnies, his large eyes filled with concern. He rushed to Susan, nudging her insistently with his head, his gaze full of purpose. Though surprised by Patrick's behavior, Susan quickly understood his message. She followed him and was astonished when Patrick led her to the medicine shelf in the barn, where Hero's arthritis medication was stored. This remarkable act demonstrated Patrick's ability to recognize even the smallest signs of Hero's discomfort, something even humans often missed. The story of Hero and Patrick spread far and wide, capturing the attention of a local veterinary college. Researchers came to study their unique relationship. During one observation session, they discovered that Patrick not only recognized Hero's needs, but had also developed creative ways to communicate. When Hero seemed unsure of which direction to take, Patrick would gently nudge him on the left or right, providing subtle but clear guidance with love and care. The researchers meticulously documented Patrick's behavior and were particularly impressed by his adaptability and patience. Patrick wasn't merely assisting Hero with movement. He had become a genuine guide, constantly adjusting himself to match Hero's pace and needs. When Hero's health began to decline, Patrick adjusted his daily routine. Instead of accompanying Hero on walks around the yard as they used to, Patrick created a discovery zone right on the porch. Each day he brought small gifts like leaves, flower petals, or fallen feathers, carefully placing them where Hero could easily reach. For Hero, each gift was an unexpected joy, stimulating his senses and bringing a spark of life to his final days. One afternoon, as Hero slowly explored the treasures Patrick had brought, the Martinez family couldn't help but be moved. They realized that the friendship between Hero and Patrick was not just about companionship. It was a profound expression of compassion and an ability to transcend boundaries to bring joy to one another. The touching story of Patrick and Hero quickly spread, capturing the attention of the media and the local community. A children's author was inspired by their extraordinary bond and wrote a book titled The Foal Who Became the Legs, recounting their remarkable journey. The book not only helped children understand that disabilities do not define a person's worth, but also carried a powerful message about love and patience. The book was widely distributed in hospitals, therapy centers, and schools, becoming a source of inspiration for many, especially those facing challenges. Children loved the story of Hero and Patrick, and the image of the guiding foal became a symbol of courage and genuine friendship. One autumn evening, warm golden light bathed the Martinez family's yard. From the living room window, Susan and Paul looked out to see Patrick gently guiding Hero into the stable. Hero's steps were slow and heavy, but Patrick never rushed. He always matched Hero's pace, staying by his side every step of the way. That sight served as a poignant reminder of the meaning of companionship and love. Susan thought back to the day they had gone to the shelter to find a companion for Hero. At the time, she had only hoped to find a little horse to keep Hero from feeling lonely. But Patrick had brought so much more, a living testament that love not only helps us move forward but also transforms us in extraordinary ways. One day, Hero quietly passed away in his sleep, leaving Patrick standing silently by his side, his eyes filled with sorrow as he gazed at his best friend for the last time. To Patrick, Hero was not just a friend, but his entire world. For 2 years, Patrick had been by Hero's side, helping him surpass limits that once seemed impossible. In his final days, Hero was enveloped in Patrick's gentle care and heartfelt affection. After Hero's passing, Patrick became more subdued. He often stood for hours by the field where they used to run together, his eyes fixed on the distant village road. Paul, who took care of Patrick, noticed that the little horse seemed to be waiting for something. Occasionally, Patrick would neigh softly as if calling Hero back. Although the pain of missing Hero remained, Patrick gradually learned to move forward. One serene afternoon, Patrick suddenly neighed, his urgent call echoing across the field and catching Paul's attention. Paul followed Patrick's gaze and saw Mr. Anderson, their elderly neighbor, taking his first steps after a serious accident. Each step was slow and challenging, but he kept going. Patrick approached Mr. Anderson with his characteristic gentleness, walking beside him as if to offer encouragement. Patrick's presence seemed to give Mr. Anderson a renewed sense of strength, and for the first time in months, Paul saw him smile. From that day on, Patrick seemed to discover a new purpose in life. becoming a source of comfort for those in need. Every morning, Patrick stood by the fence watching the villagers. When he saw someone who needed help, he approached them with the same patience and optimism he had shown Hero. Patrick's story spread throughout the village, becoming a symbol of compassion and resilience. One day, a little girl named Emma, who had broken her leg, visited the village with her parents. Emma sat in a wheelchair, her eyes sad because she could no longer run and play as she used to. When she saw Patrick, her face lit up with a bright smile. Patrick walked over to her, gently nudging her hand with his nose, as if to say everything would be okay. From that day, Emma visited Patrick regularly, and their bond grew stronger. Patrick's presence helped Emma regain her spirit and start her recovery journey. Patrick's story not only touched hearts, but also inspired the community to act. A special support center called Journey of Light was established, pairing animals with people in need of companionship. Horses, dogs, and cats from the center became friends and companions, bringing hope and joy to those facing hardships. At the entrance to the center, a large sign was hung, bearing the words, "Friendship lights every journey." On the anniversary of Hero's passing, Paul received a letter from a family living far away. They shared that they had adopted an old horse through the Journey of Light program. Enclosed with the letter was a photo of the elderly horse being guided by a foal that looked remarkably like Patrick. "Your story gave us hope to believe in miracles," the letter said. Patrick continued his journey, touching the hearts of not only people but also other animals. He became a symbol of unconditional love, proving that genuine affection can transcend all boundaries and pain. On warm, golden afternoons, Patrick would often stand by the large window of the stable, where sunlight made his coat glow a radiant golden brown. It was Hero's favorite spot when he was alive, and now Patrick kept the habit of standing there as a way to remember his closest friend. Whenever the townsfolk spoke of Hero and Patrick, they didn't just tell the story of a blind horse and his guide companion. They shared a tale of an extraordinary friendship that taught them how patience and compassion could illuminate even the darkest paths. The lessons from Hero and Patrick continued to spread. A scholarship named Hero Patrick was established to support students researching therapy and care for disabled animals. Generations of students like Celine Miller, a young girl who had once met Hero and Patrick during a school visit, were inspired to pursue careers in veterinary medicine because of this story. Today, in the town's central park, a small bronze statue of two horses standing side by side with eyes full of affection was erected. Children often stop to touch the polished metal, while parents share the story of Hero and Patrick. On the plaque beneath the statue, the words read, "Dedicated to Hero and Patrick, who taught us that true friendship lights the path through every darkness, and love knows no boundaries." Though the memories of Hero never faded, Patrick proved that sometimes the greatest miracles come from small hearts filled with boundless love. He continued to live, creating meaningful changes in the lives of others, and writing a new chapter about the power of love and kindness. The bond between Hero and Patrick not only changed the perceptions of an entire community, but also paved the way for groundbreaking research in animal-assisted therapy. Findings about the Patrick effect, the phenomenon of animals naturally taking on caregiving roles, were documented in scientific journals, showcasing enhanced emotional and cognitive development in both humans and animals. The Martinez family kept a special album dedicated to Hero and Patrick's journey, filled with photos capturing their unforgettable moments. Patrick patiently guiding Hero through the spring garden, enjoying warm sunlight together on winter mornings, or gently leading his friend through the final days of autumn, surrounded by fallen leaves. After Patrick passed away, the Martinez family founded the Guiding Light Fund, which helps cover medical costs for elderly and disabled animals, with the motto, "Sometimes the best guide is an open heart." Today, in the town's central park, another small bronze statue stands, depicting a foal and a blind boy. Children often stop to run their hands over the smooth metal, listening to their parents recount the story of Hero and Patrick. On the plaque beneath, the words read, dedicated to Hero and Patrick, who taught us that true friendship lights the path through every darkness, and love knows no boundaries. On quiet mornings, some say they can still feel the magic Hero and Patrick brought to the town, as sunlight dances through the trees, reminding everyone of the power of compassion and the limitless possibilities when we love with all our hearts. Has Hero and Patrick's story touched your heart as well? If you think this friendship is beautiful, comment 1 below. And if you believe that love and compassion can create miracles, share this story to spread its meaningful message to others. Don't forget to leave your thoughts. Your words might just inspire someone else.